everyone, Earthy Wise Woman here, and I'm here to do our morning reading for this day, which is March the 16th, 2025. Today I did a pull of the cards and I found them very fascinating. First, I just want to see what's going on in general around the world as far as just the weather. Weather wise, things are going to be a bit of a juggle, but balance will, I guess the bird would say, maintain. Um, I would be a little concerned because certain weather fronts throughout the world are happening that shouldn't have happened. But I think it's the energy of the collective world that's going to keep things balanced, even though chaos is kind of showing its ugly head. I would just suggest to everybody to wear a coat, or in certain areas, just stay warm, or in this case, stay cool. But the balance of the collective universe will keep things as they should be. Now, once again, we're having, at least it's showing, as far as the collective feeling of the universe is transcending. And right now, this card is the Princess of Cups. Now, cups is water, okay? And water usually means maternal things. Um, View this as something more like, oh gosh, what is a good word for saying it? Intuitiveness. That's a good word. Your intuition is going to be on high alert. And that's true for everyone around the world. Our intuition is actually becoming more aware. Our third eye is opening for many of us, not all of us, but for many of us, our third eye is starting to open and we're beginning to question things that are going on around us, both economically. We're questioning things that are going on environmentally, and we need to. So don't dismiss this feeling of something may not be right, or maybe we need to look into things deeper, because intuition is very important. It is the reason that, we really call it intuition. Really, what it is our third eye. And our third eye needs to be open because it is part of who we are. And for, I would say, centuries, it has been suppressed and it has been stifled. And now the floodgates are bursting and we are beginning to see for the first time in a very long time. And the next card that I pulled is the Emperor. And usually that represents a very masculine card and it also represents a leader. And I'm assuming, very strongly actually, that this card represents our current new president. It denotes someone who is taking charge, trying to put in a backbone where there was none, tried to put in solid where there was liquid, trying to put in stability where there was chaos. So, right now, this is a season that he is right now having to put in a lot of stability where there was so much chaos and inconformity. I'm not saying that conformity is always good, but chaos is never good. Not when it's made to run rapid, not when it's not finally said, okay, guys, we've got this together. Now we need to just set forth and put ourselves on a path as a country or as a world which way we're going to march. It's important to know this because not everybody has to think the same, but allowing destruction is not allowed. And therefore, you need an emperor to end the destruction. And so, this is cards represents the emperor. Also, I want to make a note this is a major arcana card. So, this card is very important. So, please take heed. And the final card, which is basically showing the atmosphere of what's going on worldwide, is the death card. I know a lot of people get upset and scared. Oh, the death card, that's terrible. No, death represents transformation, an end to something, and the beginning of something else. It is not a bad card. It just simply is. And sometimes we have to have one thing to have another. If anybody remembers Kali, the destroyer, to have a new creation, you have to destroy the old one. For us to have a new beginning, we have to have an end. So think of this as the destruction of some things that are not so good to bring in some things that are going to be amazing. And I'm going to give an overall reading as soon as I lift up my camera and put my cards back down. Okay, thank you. Overall, things in our world are going to get a little bit hairy. And I don't say that lightly. I see a lot of shortages coming up. But the reason that's going to be would be because there's a saying, when you put order in, um, confusion has to flow. And I know you guys have, at some time or another, you've cleaned your house. And when you're cleaning your house, you're getting rid of old things. And in some cases, in the middle of cleaning, it looks worse than it did before you even started. And you're like, I'm cleaning, but it looks terrible. That's because you are actually going in and getting rid of things that were hidden and getting rid of them and actually thoroughly cleaning the house where it's completely clean. So all that stuff that was hidden away is now gotten rid of. So even the areas that you didn't see are even clean. And that's what's going on right now too. There are going to be things that we were not aware of that are being cleaned. There are things that we may have pushed to the side are being cleaned, brought out into the open, being looked at and examined. So I'm not going to say things are going to be hunky dory right away. They're not. They're not. But gradually they will be. Now, on that note, this is probably one of the longest readings I've done this week. But hey, some readings are going to be longer than others. And I didn't tell you, so I'm going to tell you now. The deck that I'm reading from today is the Transformational deck. This is the deck I always usually use for my everyday readings when I read for others. My favorite deck, I have to admit. All tarot decks have their meanings or their reasonings why you use them. This is just my personal favorite deck, and everybody has their favorites. And on that note, please like and subscribe to my channel. Tell your friends. Earthly Wise Woman saying, be safe, keep your third eye open, and be aware. Blessed be.